Okay, Christian, you're currently studying Near Eastern language at Harvard. How long have you been studying languages?
I started studying French at Wells Junior High School in 7th grade, and then I studied French for the next 6 years till the end of high school. That was the only thing I studied was French. And then when I went to Princeton for undergraduate, I started studying Armenian, Persian, and Arabic. So at college.
Wow.
So that was 6 years ago.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Have you taken any Armenian-focused classes? And if so, what have you most recently learned?
Okay, so when I was at Princeton, there was no Armenian program, so I didn't take any Armenian classes. But then when I came here to Harvard to do my MA, it's specifically in Armenian. So I'm taking 3 courses this semester in Armenian, and then 3 last semester. And one of them each semester was classic Armenian, so it's just language.
Yeah.
Then the other ones were about literature and history and stuff like that. So the one that I'm taking now is Armenian Epic, so we're learning about oral literature, which is, it's very
It's intense, because they have their own alphabet, right? So.
Yeah, it's very interesting stuff. And, for example, one thing that's an interesting fact that I've learned recently is there are over 100 dialects of Armenian up until the time.
Wow, that's a lot.
So now there are much fewer. But
Wow, okay. Have you ever been to Armenia?
I've been once, yeah. I'm going this summer for the 2nd time, but after my freshman year at Princeton, I went to Armenia.
Wow, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part was the food and the mountains. It's an incredibly mountainous country, so right from the city, you just start going up into the mountains. It's pretty pretty.
Did you do a lot of hikes?
Yeah. Yes.
Nice.
Of course.
Is your family able to trace back when they lived in Armenia?
Yeah, to an extent. I mean, a lot of it, so after the genocide, sort of a lot of family records and things were lost. So we can go back basically to my great-grandparents, and they told us where they're from, which is a town called Arapgir, which is it's on the Euphrates River in central Turkey today. So that's basically what we know. Beyond that, we don't know names, we don't know anything, we just know where. The village was called Zak, and it was a part of this area called Arapgir. Yeah. So on both sides, actually. So like both of my great-grandparents, they were from the same village.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Let's see. Where did your family come when they first came to America? Do you know where?
Yeah. So evidently my great-grandfather came first, sometime in the 19-teens, so 1912, 1913. Went to New Britain, Connecticut, and worked in a steel factory or something. And then he came to Watertown and worked at Hood Rubber Company, where he worked for 50 years or something. And then the First World War and the genocide happened, so he was out of contact with his wife, who was still in the old country. He was going to go back, actually. He was going to come here to work for a couple of years and then go back. Yeah, but that never happened. She managed to survive, adopted 3 orphans, and they all came in 1923.
Wow.
Yeah, so then from 1923 they lived in this house, actually, in Watertown, which my great-grandfather built. So.
And is that the last family that you know of that lived in Armenia? No one that you know of lives there?
As far as we know, everyone else was killed. So, I mean, there are cousins that we know of that live in France, and then theoretically there are some in Egypt, or were. We haven't been in contact.
They escaped the genocide and went there?
They were in Syria and Egypt, but again, that was 50 years ago. We lost contact with them. So.
Okay, let's see. Has your ancestors moving to America, has it had any direct effect on you?
Well, definitely. I mean, I think one thing that happens is that my father married an American woman. My grandfather did too. So eventually, sort of the cultural stuff starts to fade, right? And the language, we don't speak Armenian at home. And also, I mean, the reason people came here was for a better life. I mean, they were farmers in Turkey, so chances are we'd probably still be farmers in Turkey. I mean, so it's definitely been. I have no idea what life would be like otherwise, but certainly different. So,
yeah, that'd be crazy. Okay. Can anyone in your family speak Armenian? You just said
Diana can speak Armenian. My aunt, who you're going to interview, she's 86. My grandparents could,
right.
But my father can't. Their generation, there are 6 of them. None of them speak Armenian, and obviously I've learned Armenian, but at home we don't speak Armenian.
Right. Yeah.
And Diana, you'll see, she married an Armenian guy, but he didn't speak Armenian, so she hasn't spoken Armenian since her father died in 1979 or something. So she knows all of it, but she's not confident enough to speak.
Do you guys ever speak it together?
Yeah. Well, I kind of coerce her because she won't until I start saying words.
Get it out of her.
And she will. She knows it. Yeah. If you speak in Armenian, she understands everything.
Yeah. Does your family partake in any Armenian traditions or customs?
Not really. I mean, I would say that the food is number one. We have a family Christmas every year, my dad's side of the family, and we have all the Armenian food and stuff like that. And they know a couple words that they remember from their grandparents, but pretty much just American.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and lastly, can you say something in Armenian for us?
Well, one thing. So when I was really interested in high school in Armenian for the first time, my grandfather, I asked him the exact same thing, and he said "Kensi shat kasiram," which means "I love you a lot" in Armenian. So that was the first Armenian I ever heard. Yeah, but you wanted me to say like.
Let's have you say
intercultural.
I love intercultural communications class.
All right. So Antmoshakushain Hawartuchuneru Tasa shat kasiram.
Yikes, that's intense.
That's a long language. So.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.